at this moment in time, David, would you like to give us a little bit of an intro or rundown of what you can and what you know of the Yahyel?
Sure. I can tell you what I think I know about the Yahyel. Okay, so the Yahyel are beautiful species. They're 50% human and 50% other. So they look a lot like us. They are a mix between grays and humans. So some people are familiar with the grays. They're like 4 foot tall gray beings with almond shaped eyes, black eyes. Um, anyway, that's enough about the grays. But the Yahyel are, they look at us like parents because our genetics created their species. So because, um, sorry, I just heard this one. The Yahyel, they're beautiful, they're compassionate, they communicate from the heart, they're very humanoid, they have emotions just like us. Some of them are even more sensitive than us emotionally. They have a deeper sense of emotional connection than we can have that I'm aware of because they're telepathic. They're a very telepathic race, and they can do a lot of really wonderful things. Physically, they're anywhere from about 4 feet tall to 5'3", perhaps. Some of them have hair, some of them don't. They don't have black eyes like the grays do. Their eyes have all the human colors available, but there's also different colors like Pleiadian, like turquoise, that we don't have, and different shades of yellow that we don't have as well. Um, they can speak, so they're a race that speaks. Some races are only telepathic, some only speak. They can do both, and yeah, they're really friendly and fun.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for that. Everyone, if there is nothing else, I think we've been at this for an hour, so I think we're gonna move into the next part here. And David, whenever you're ready, we will welcome our next guest.
Okay, so I'd like to do a little bit of, I know I did a little introduction, but I just want to give everyone a little bit of an idea as far as channeling goes, just for your question's sake. When I'm channeling and speaking to a being, the being that I'm speaking to is often a representative of their race, or it's a very curious being that just wants to pop in and say hello. Now, you might be speaking to a king or a queen or some ambassador, some being of great honor and responsibility for their people, because they are, as an individual, representing their entire race when talking to humans. So many times, species will put their best foot forward and put their best speaker forward. Although that's not always the case, just be mindful and respectful to who comes through, and keep in mind that um, their specialty is probably in politics or communication and not astrophysics or perhaps science. It just depends who comes forward. And I'm not quite sure exactly who is going to come forward. I just received a heads up that the Yahyel were coming through. So I don't exactly know who's coming.
Excellent. Okay. Well, I guess whenever you are ready, thank you. We are ready.
Okay, it's just going to take me a moment to prepare myself. And when I start speaking, then they're here. Okay.
Excellent.
Ah, yes. Greetings. One moment, please. Ah, very good. We are here now with you. Greetings and welcome, everyone.
Welcome. You are most welcome here. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Ah, it is a pleasure to be here amongst friends.
Excellent. We are friends indeed. We have plenty of questions to ask. So I hope, if you don't mind, if we get cracking.
Of course, crack as many eggs as required.
Excellent. Thank you. So there are plenty of hot topics right now happening on our planet and in our country specifically. Um, However, we are all being affected right now by this great conjunction with Jupiter and Saturn happening. Can you offer any insight to how that's going to affect us, what we can do to really harness the energy coming in, and what's going to happen afterwards?
This is an excellent question. Allow yourself to be present within the radius of the sun. What we mean by this is to allow yourself to absorb the radiation that the sun emits to you. Do not burn yourself with these radiation waves, but be mindful to absorb this radiation. It is being influenced by the planets that surround your system at this time. And because of this planetary alignment, which is forthcoming to you, then it will cause a greater amplification of information to come through you and to be integrated within your genetic system on the energetic layers. We apologize. The channel has had supper shortly before this.
That is all right.
Now, we understand that many of you are curious about astrology and things and the effects that planets have regarding you and your system. We understand those astrologists that are interested in such trends pay close mind to such particular situations. But it is important that one focuses on the reality which you are standing within. It is important to focus on your life, your experiences as a third density being, with these astral components complementing you rather than hindering you and taking you away from your regular 3D life, which can be complemented, but should not be augmented by these other energies and experiences. So pay mind to focus on what is important in your life and accomplish that goal first. Now, regarding planetary alignment and Jupiter and Saturn, we do believe you said.
Correct.
Yes. We will need to access our database. One moment, please. Yes. There is energies coming from these planets. There is always energy coming from these planets. But because of the closeness of the planets, it is realigned in a particular way that the energy is amplified. Now, this will make way for great powerful beings to arrive on your planet. This will allow for the souls of great beings to also come forward. Now, this is a wonderful thing, as it was required of Jesus for the disciples to be present and hold the space before he was able to come aboard the planet. So, in the same way, such energies alignment will cause a great shift in the field of the planet itself and the auric distribution of the planet. So, with this in mind, this is one of the things that will occur due to the effect of the planetary alignment regarding Saturn and Jupiter.
That's excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that knowledge and that insight. That is definitely an interesting topic right now, and everyone's discussing it and wanting to be involved. Another topic that has been very curious over the last few weeks that's been happening all over the planet are these monoliths that are appearing worldwide. Some seem to be some sort of human construction, maybe it's a distraction or hoax, or is this a message from a certain ET faction? What are these monoliths, and how do we decipher them?
The monoliths are energetic devices designed with purpose, with quantum purpose. They are being placed by the Pleiadians at this time upon your planet. Now, the purpose of these monoliths, as you call them, they create a field when in full construction. When they are all present, they create a grid that will spread across your planet, allowing for greater sense of communication, as the pyramids once did when they were active upon your planet. Now, these monoliths are not of the similar size or material compositional spectrum, but they have ability to create a matrix of, we do not want to say of consciousness, but it is a grid, a quantum grid, which will be overlaid over your planet, which will allow you to communicate with us more easily.
That's excellent, because I think communication and connection is something that we are striving for. So anything that can assist us with that, I'm sure we would be very grateful.
That is very wonderful. We are very excited to speak with you then.
We have a question for one of our members here. They're curious to know, where do you reside?
Well, at this time, we are residing in a ship, which is just outside of your atmosphere. There are many craft that we take part in, and we move from craft to craft. But at this very moment, we are outside of Africa, actually. If you were to draw a line straight up from the point of South Africa approximately, this is where we would be located.
That's excellent. And I think that's just going to bring about some more questions. So if you are fairly close to us right now in your vessel, how many other factions or groups are around us at this moment, like you, kind of hovering and taking part in different ways?
Well, not any like us. We are unique in our own individuality. But there are many species who are looking upon the planet at this time, yes. As many of you are aware, the moon is an observatory, and they have been looking at you for eons and eons. Now, we know that you are looking for something more specific, perhaps regarding craft, or perhaps just in presence. We are not sure.
I think that there's some curiosity right now with all the battles that are going on physically here on Earth. What sorts of battles that are going on up in the heavens?
The heavens. This is an interesting way to put it. As humans once did, we apologize for. There are many battles occurring throughout space, and as long as there is peace, there will be war. This is the matron who said this quote. Now, it is to understand that there is many regions in space regarding Sirius that have battles undergoing at this time. We are not partaking in such a battle, but it is between a species of lupine and reptilian. Now, they have been battling for a very long period of time over much space, if you wish to look at it like this, in their area respectively. Now, this lupine are defending their space, their home, and their adjacent planets from a species of reptilian, we will say. We do not want to be too vague regarding this, but this particular species is not known to humans at this time, so we must just be general. And this battle is taking part right now. There are others that are taking part, but we do not see the relevancy of communicating them to you at this time.
Excellent. And maybe you can shed some light on a very curious question from a lot of people from your perspective and where you currently are. Is there any reality to this flat Earth theory?
This is an interesting topic for many of you. And we understand that many of you truly do believe such a thing. For you and in your reality, this may very well be the truth. For us in our reality, it may very well be untrue. Each of us has our own individual reality, which we have created and which we'll take part in as we grow and develop through our conscious state. Now, to understand that, how is it possible that one can perceive a flat Earth and some of us do not? Well, it is because many of you come from different realities, and many of you have memories of particular things, such as the Mandela effect. There are many of you who have memories, concrete memories, even as scientists who have examined such unnatural planes of the planetary grid, believing that it is more like a disk, a CD perhaps, with a dome on top. Now, for us, this is not the case. For the channel, this is not the case. But for some of you, perhaps it is. So many of you have been battling this concept for several years very passionately. And you will fight your family, you will fight your loved ones and closest friends, and you will tell them that you are right and they are wrong. Now, is this healthy? You must ask yourself. How much of this is relevant to your everyday life? If it is true, then perhaps you will lose your friends and family because it is true in your reality, but not theirs. So one must ask oneself, is it worth the battle? We do not think it is.
Excellent. That's an excellent answer. Thank you. We have a couple other questions here. We're going to keep moving forward. What can we expect, or can we expect any assistance or support from you or other space beings in regards to our battle here taking place on Earth at this time?
Are you regarding the Americas? Are you regarding COVID? Are you regarding many different things that are taking war on the planet?
That's excellent question. There are many battles going on right now. I think if we can sum it up as a battle of good versus evil.
We can say that we influence you in many different ways. In our influence, some of you have suggestions and ideas that come to you. You may believe it to be your consciousness speaking with you, but oftentimes it is us communicating with you. Now, we understand that many of you do not believe in non-terrestrial existence, and that is okay. But it does not mean that we cannot communicate with you, and you cannot receive our energies from where we send. Now, to answer your question, do we help you? We would say that even at this very moment, we are sending you and giving you information that may assist you in your development. It may assist you to change your perception, as this example of flat earthers, for example. What if this bit of information affects many people, and this information is spread to more henceforth from this point? Perhaps this trend will change upon the planet, and then there will be less internal war regarding this subject. So, in such a way, information is a great, beautiful thing, and it can shine in many different ways. We help in very many ways regarding regarding your planet and things that must be regulated on the planet, and indirectly regarding energies and influence.
Excellent. Will humanity rise above our current chaos and move into the light, or face the truth about this parasitic invasion?
The truth. This is unique to each individual and their belief system. There is no one truth. There is no one individual except the one. And we would say that it is up to you to decide as you manifest your greatest creation right in front of you as you wish to create it. Yes, we did say recreate, because you have been here before, and many of you have been through these different time layers of expansion in different ways. So find the footing that you require to find your way through the fog and move forward through it. There is a way, and you will find it.
I like that, finding your footing and moving your way through the fog. That's very beautiful. We have a question regarding jade. Can you elaborate on the importance of having a jade succulent in your home?
A succulent. One moment, we will look up this species. If we are not mistaken, we believe this is a flower.
Correct.
Well, this particular species has a relatively high vibrational point. Therefore, it would extend its radiative, this is not quite a word, but we have said it, energies in a small radius around the plant that may or may not influence you. If you are able to sense energies, feel energies, then you may want to place it closer to you on your work desk, as these energies may complement you in different ways. Other than that, it is a beautiful flower. It is something that brings you joy. If you look at it, then it is beneficial to have within your system. If not, then discard it.
Excellent. That's beautiful. I love that. Okay, so we have a little bit of a localized question. The channel lives in the province of Nova Scotia, and we have a lot of members in that area. Can you tell us, is Nova Scotia a safe haven for the cabal? What kinds of entities or groups are interested in the Nova Scotia area? And what sorts of special attributes does Nova Scotia possess?
We will say there is no safe place for the cabal.
I like that.
They are being expunged from the area. And if we had our way, they would be directly removed by us. But due to protocols, we are not allowed to directly intervene in such a way. So as weeds tend to dig deeper and deeper into the planet to ensure their survival, the cabal does such a thing as well. Now, regarding the second component of your question, can you repeat it, please?
Yes, we're focusing on maybe some special attributes of Nova Scotia, and what sorts of groups or non-terrestrial beings are in Nova Scotia, or maybe under Nova Scotia at this time.
This is an excellent question, and a very secretive question, actually. But we can say some limited information regarding this. There are small colonies at the southern point of your Nova Scotia, past your Halifax region. There are isolated colonies of beings that live and exist, that are holographically cloaked, so they are not to be seen, living peacefully within your environment. Now, many of these beings are peaceful. They have their own flora and physiology, which is unique from you. They cohabitate with you, yet you do not know of them. They are beings of great grace and honorability, and only seek to have a safe place procured for them, so they do not need to fear. This is the reason for their station. This is why they are being protected by your government. So, because a species is upon your planet does not make them aggressive, does not mean that they are here to take your resources, merely means they are parking for a period of time until it is safe for them to leave again. Now, is Nova Scotia a hotspot, we believe, for those nasty things? Is this not true? Something of this nature.
Yes.
We do not believe it is a hotspot. There are hotspots in New York and in England and DC and Hong Kong and several other areas. But the hotspots, primarily, they are not in Nova Scotia.
Excellent. Sticking with Nova Scotia, or the region, just for one moment, can you share with us any insight about a connection or relationship with the Atlantic or Atlantean energy?
Yes, a long time ago, there was a species of Atlantean which existed upon these waters. Now, the planet was very different at that time. Approximately 37,000 years ago, there was some continental shift and drift. This caused many isolated plains of land to shift and become sunk. And due to the sinking of such colonies, much technology was lost. Many lives were lost, and many beings had to take movement to other areas of the planet regarding the internal Earth structure and regarding space-faring planetary societies. So for this very reason, they had to move. Now, these beings still do exist upon your planet. They are waiting for a time where humanity can absolve themselves from such irrational thoughts, disturbing things that tend to run through the mind of the human. And so they may come up again from, I do not want to say from a cave. They are extremely advanced species and they live a very, very long time. Many of them still remember the time of Atlantis, actually. So if you were to speak with one, they would have many wonderful stories.
That does sound wonderful. Okay, switching gears just for a moment. We do have a couple questions about one particular topic. So stick with me as we go through them.
Of course.
Is the law of one an accurate path to higher consciousness? And an adjoining question: will humanity advance enough to throw off the shackles of our organized religions and embrace the law of one?
Humans are on a particular path of expansion. This law of one, which you are referring to, is the ultimate goal. We desire that you are able to communicate with each other with love and compassion without worrying, is this person going to betray me? Can I trust this person? Is there things that they are going to do to throw me out of balance in my life? This is the ultimate goal, for you to be peaceful with one another. And first, you must find the differences that you have with each other and understand that these differences are okay and accept them. And as you move forward in your development from thought form to thought form, you will find that there is less and less difference that separates you than that which brings you together.
Can you break for one moment and give the channeler a drink, please?
Yes. We are not familiar with the layout of the location.
He should have a glass of water in front of him.
It may take us one moment. We have found it. Excellent.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
That is very good. One moment. We are still putting down this object. Please continue.
So we were talking about the law of one.
Yes, the law of one regarding your religion.
Correct.
Much is to change in your near future. This year of 2021 is one of great change. It is not just the change of people and the minds and the belief and trust in your government. It is the belief of all that is. What do we mean by this? This is a very vague statement. Yes. What we are saying is that although religion has existed for a very, very long time, there will be aspects of religion that will be found that interlace them together, creating a unified religion. Now, religion can be a difficult subject because it allows for much conditioning of the mind, which disallows much of your natural human ability. So it is very important that you allay such conditioning in order to embrace that which is your true self, to embrace the power that you exhibit within yourself. It is important that you forget what others want you to learn. and begin to learn for your very self, from your very self. Now, for many of you, this will be a journey, and it may take some time until you achieve such a place in your life. But keep in mind that what other people want you to know desperately bad, they hammer it into you over and over. It is because it is for their agenda. Whether this be the news or perhaps such COVID premises. It is because they want you to know this information. You must ask yourself, why do they want us to know this? Is it necessarily for our safety, or is it because of some other procurement that they have in mind for us? So, with that in mind, we would say regarding religion, it is changing its foundational situation.
That's excellent. Thank you for shedding some light on that one. Switching gears back to some crystals. Someone would like to know, or sorry, Data would like to know, how potent is shungite in energy work, clearing spaces and using it for protection?
The shungite is an excellent material to work with. It is black in nature, shiny, and at times it can be silverish color, depending on the amount of carbon it has within it. Now, the shungite stone comes from Karelia, a location of Russia, and it has come from the stars. Its properties have fullerenes, which help with the clearing of water. It can be used in the diffusion of water molecules in their station. We'll say that it breaks off factors that are harmful for your body, and we are just paying mind to all of your energies as you are thinking of buying some of this shungite at this time. But that is okay. It is a good stone to have. Someone might wish to have much of it, as it has electromagnetic properties, and it changes the fields that surround it to be of a more positive nature.
Excellent. It's great that you shared that. And we did have someone come on and show us by connecting their shungite to their flashlight and then turning on their flashlight with just using their shungite. So some really excellent tools we do have at our disposal.
Yes, it does have some electromagnetic properties as well.
Okay, we briefly spoke about quote unquote cabal and how much we don't like them and how much we want to get rid of them. We have Raymond asking, is the cabal an Earth problem only, or is it a universally wide parasite?
It is an Earth problem, but they have extended themselves into space already. Now, as far as a universal problem goes, on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the most biggest problem, 0 being no problem at all, they are perhaps 0.1 or perhaps 0.01 on the scale of problems. They can be quickly eliminated, but it is not required that they are eliminated, as that influence has a particular meaning. They are representing a particular aspect of the human consciousness. And although this may be darker in nature, it still serves a purpose. This purpose is different from that of the primary consciousness of humanity, but it still serves the purpose of duality, which you are taking part in with your third density experience. So, is it a problem in space? We would say no.
Interesting. Thank you. So we have an interesting question from Karen. Karen would like to know if you could offer any clarity on the value or usage of non-government cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin.
Would like us to give such information regarding Bitcoin?
Yeah. So the any clarity on the value or the usage of non-government cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin?
At this time, we would not use our resources to help one gain financial gains. We hope you understand. We would say the best investment is the investment of yourself to help yourself grow and your family grow in turn. Take care of yourself and your family with sustainability, self-sustainability. You may wish to replace your grass with a garden so that you do not be reliant upon your grocery stores. You may wish to have an electric car so you're not reliant on electricity or gasoline. So this is the best investment that one can take. It's self-reliance and it is personal power development.
I really like that answer. Thank you very much for that. I think there's some concern amongst not only the membership here but the populace at large, with governments right now calling and talking about great resets and using some quantum currencies, and whether it's the cabal or the good guys trying to control that aspect of the monetary system. Can you offer any insight or any kind of feedback on the progress of that? And is this something again that we can basically just manifest out of our experience not wanting to participate in that program?
You would say that many of you are already out of this reality. There are many of you who are stuck in it because of constant reinforcement due to your news that you watch on a daily basis. Much of this reality can easily be shifted into a more bright future if you focus on what is important and what excites you in your life. Move forward with the development of yourself and the knowing that you can achieve whatever it is that you desire, as long as it is realistic within the time constraints of your physicality and the limitations of your physicality. Now, regarding these currencies, which are upon your planet, there is much change that will happen in your future. And 2020 was a crazy year, as one might say, but there is still crazy to come. So embrace your sovereignty. Allow yourself independence from those who supply you with that which you need to sustain your life. And you will be fine. You will not need to worry about anything. This is our greatest recommendation.
Excellent. Excellent. Hopefully, next up, a simpler question, from which Louise would like to know, from which dimension do you originate from?
Well, we originate from the fifth density, but I have dropped myself down several dimensions to speak with you, and I myself am of a fourth density consciousness at this moment, but I can move between the layers of expansion and move into different layers of consciousness when required.
Excellent. So going off that, your group is a collective consciousness. So what is do you have an individual role and position amongst your group? And what is that? And what brought you to us today?
This is an excellent question. Well, for myself, I am an engineer. I work on many things that need enhancement within the ship. There are many things that need to be fixed and improved as time progresses, as it is perceived for you. Now, regarding, we were going to speak of our crew, as there are many who are here listening to this conversation, who wish to take part, but are limited only by their one mouth of the channel, we would say. So, in a way, There are many speaking to you at this time, and not just Yahyel, but other species as well. And if it would be okay with you, there are others who wish to come forward.
Um, I would, if they are interested in and you are willing, I'm sure we would like to say hello.
Very good. We do not have. One moment. We are communicating with them at this time. We do not want to dodge your question either. We are seeing who would serve the greatest good regarding your conversation and answering such questions. A very interesting choice, but someone wishes to come forward to speak with you at this time. It is a he. His name is Yan Shi, and Yan Shi is lupine, a wolf species. We would transition out and allow him a moment to speak with you, as it is not common for lupine to speak to humans.
Thank you.
If that is okay.
Of course.
Very well. We will return in a moment.